perhaps as good as it gets in Gaelic football.
Meath are looking for another score. Jody again. Jody Devine looking for a score. Jody Devine. Oh, another wonderful effort. What a score! Niall Buckley goes for a big one. It's gone in.
Oh, great stuff. Well, commentary on today's latest showdown between the Royals and the Lily Whites comes from Martin Carney, and first, Ger Canny.
Here's Dermot Early playing, as I say, in his 50th championship match. Quite a record. Trying to open up the play here down towards Padraig O'Neill. It's not very deep, however. Queeveen King trying to close down his space. Back to Early again. Launching one towards a two-man inside forward line. Breaks back out here again. And making absolutely sure is Anthony Moyles. And Dermot Early is down across on the far side of the field.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened that time, whether he's gone over on his knee or something like that. Maybe he got hit late, I didn't see it.
There he is, just falling very awkwardly on the turf. I mentioned it's slippery. So off he goes, and with the 5 substitutions, if he should be able to make a miraculous recovery, he could come back in later on, but it looks very unlikely. Knocked into space here. Good position taken up by Stephen Bray, trying to get away from Peter Kelly. Cian Ward. Now Bray looking around here. A couple of players trying to get it off him. Into space, the bounce is awkward. O'Rourke was onto it in a flash. Drops it down, has a second chance. And he's kicked this one over the bar. First point of the match for Shane O'Rourke, and a second for Meath. Slow and deliberate, terribly slow in fact. Almost an interception there by Graham Riley, and Kildare living dangerously. The referee says play on. Gary O'Brien forces it forward. Out comes Shane O'Rourke. That was Chris O'Connor having a go, fisted, and that ball's gone over the bar. Joe Sheridan was in there to apply the finish to it, but certainly Chris O'Connor was the one who was knocking it in there dangerously. And I think the number 11 has probably got to take the credit for it. Chance to look up, place the pass, and they're sending everything in there into the centre, where they sense there's a weakness. Comes off the crossbar, comes back here, and Brian Mead was trying to carry it over. Let's not have a repeat of the Leinster final, please. Free out. Or is it? Let's just watch it again here. Sheridan knocked it in first of all. The goalkeeper
goes off. Yes, I think
Mead came Mead afterwards.
It's a penalty. It's a penalty.
Penalty has been given.
This ball from Sheridan again comes off the crossbar. Mead following through. Is fouled, I think, in this case by Andrew McLaughlin, and it's a penalty.
To double Mead's lead. Ward strikes, and did it scramble over the line? More drama down there. There is a red flag this time, and the goal is awarded. What is it about that goal and Meath? Just watch it again here. Did it go completely over the line? The goalkeeper got his hands to it. Yes, it did. It did. Now Andrew McLaughlin. Sending it down low. This is a better ball to Smith. Better lay off as well to Owen O'Flaherty. Can he put it over the bar from here? The answer is yes. Good score. First point from play to come for Kildare, so that's 2 in a row. And the Lily Blooms certainly a bit of a recovery. Here's again Chris O'Connor. Brian Meath, they're holding it, they're not making an awful lot of progress. And they lose it, and the ball is turned over again to Kildare. And down went Darrell Flynn under the weight of the challenge. Free kick is taken by Owen O'Flaherty quickly to the totally unmarked Johnny Doyle. May have missed a free kick, but he hasn't missed this one. And it's a 2-point game. Johnny Doyle's second point. Sailing over the bar of Brendan Murphy. Queeveen King. Steady in his short left half back. Looking up the whole time, trying to pick out the best possible pass. O'Rourke. Still waiting. O'Connor outside of the boot. Has it sufficient direction? It has length. It's over the bar. Chris O'Connor's first point in this year's championship, his 8th ever. Lovely team play that time by Meath, and a really good team score. Here comes Graham Riley, one of Meath's sparkling stars this season, and he underlines that one with a lovely point. His first. Great score. 2 in a row, and it's won 5 to 4 points. Flynn. Peter Kelly now in an advanced position. James Kavanagh having to go across there, pursued by Owen Harrington. So there's problems with Kavanagh so far. They hold it up. Now let's see what they can produce. This is Brian Flanagan. Johnny Doyle now, looking for an angle. Kavanagh trying to get through, difficult, losing, spills away, and Graham Riley's back helping out. Kevin Riley over there to Alan Smith. Anyone's ball. Picked up here again by Brian Flanagan. Back to Padraig O'Neill now. Beats the attempted block. It's a big, ambitious kick which has sailed over the crossbar. Great score by the 24-year-old from St. Lawrence's. His first of the afternoon for Kieran McGeeney's players. And it's won 5 to 5 points. Just that penalty goal separating the teams. As Hugh Lynch kicks down towards James Kavanagh. Oh, lovely solo! Brilliant goal! James Kavanagh with his 6th ever. That is a peach, and it's come in the 29th minute. Lovely individual score by a richly talented young player from the free kick, lobbed in by Hugh Lynch, and watch, perfect judgment by James Kavanagh. Look for the dummy. What about that for an inch perfect finish? Here comes Joe Sheridan, looking to put Meath back in front again. Oh, it's a terrific kick. 2 for Joe. I'm sure he's going to take the credit for the one that Chris O'Connor lobbed in earlier on. But this time, Stephen Bray set it up for him. He still had an awful lot to do from 45 metres out. And Meath edged back into the lead again. Look at the number of Kildare players that go back. Forward by Bray to Riley once again. He started the move. Can he finish it? He can. Great score. 2 for Graham Riley. Nobody really seriously able to keep tabs on him. Morgan O'Flaherty is his marker. Oh, here's the chance. It's O'Neill. And it's helped in by Alan Smith. And there's a goal for Kildare on the call of half-time. In the 38th minute, Alan Smith gets his 6th ever championship goal. And this time, Meath were all over the place. Padraig O'Neill, impressive, but Alan Smith with the finish. Opportunity here for Lynch to pump it in long towards one of the goal scorers, James Kavanagh. Tuck it with great aplomb. Johnny Doyle. 2 points in the first half. High challenge from Seamus Kenny. He was reaching out. John Doyle was lowering his head. Contact was made. There you are. Now, an opportunity for Emmett Bolton to really launch it down there. Brilliant catch in the air. Kavanagh takes it. Back out once again towards Padraig O'Neill, and Padraig O'Neill puts it over. His 2nd point of this match, and the teams are level. It's Meath 1-9, it's Kildare 2-6. Into space, James Kavanagh, elusive as ever, showing good vision. Back out to Johnny Doyle, tricky angle, curling it in, curling it well, and putting it over the bar. And Kildare lead the quarter-final. Kildare 2 goals and 7. Meath 1 goal and 9. Up it comes again towards Shane O'Rourke. Getting loose away from McGrillen. Chancing his arm. having a go at the kick, and it's a superb kick. One in each half for Shane O'Rourke, and the 22-year-old gets the Meath fans applauding again. Back with Morgan O'Flaherty, back in towards Johnny Doyle. Now Kavanagh, across here as far as Hugh Lynch. Kildare going for another one, into Emmett Bolton. Tricky angle, he does well, he does superbly. Emmett Bolton kicks his first point of this match, and Kieran McGeeney's team are ahead by a point. It's 2-8 to 110. In this one goes as far as Owen O'Flaherty, and again a fantastic shot. Wonderful score by the youngster who's got his third point in this match. And Kildare lead by 3 at a critical stage of this fourth quarter final. Now, Brian Meath, now number 31, gets it back here. Has a go. They need a score. Can he provide it? Yes, he can. Brian Meath, fresh shirt, bloody but unbowed, and it's his first of the day. Well contested again and well won by Johnny Doyle. Up towards James Kavanagh, taking on Owen Harrington, slipping it back to Doyle, putting the boot right through it, following through. Umpires look at it and wave the white flag. 6 for Johnny Doyle. Another for Kieran McGeeney's team, and the fans are happy. There are 4 points between them again. It's a great recovery by Kildare, because Meath got so close within 2 points just a matter of 5 minutes ago. Well, they won a highly contentious Leinster final. We all know about the bizarre ending to that. And it looks like that's about as much as they're going to take from 2010, unless they can produce the miracle of all miracles. And the referee has spotted a foul inside, so the ball is being brought forward quickly in the 70th minute. And there's going to be a free kick, but there are 6 points between the teams. Meath need a goal, not just one but 2.
It's a goal or nothing from this.
Referee has a little word with Garrod O'Connor from Galway, one of his linesmen.
I hate actually revisiting the Louth game, but isn't there a sense of karma about this?
Oh, there could be worse trouble here for Seamus Kenny, because he was yellow carded already and he's now got a second, and it's gone from bad to worse. He's quizzing why. It's something that Garrod O'Connor saw. The referee has acted upon it. Just look at this again here. That was the reason. He reached out with his right hand to Darrell Flynn. Kildare are marching towards the semi-finals of the GAA All-Ireland Championship, as Owen O'Flaherty pops over a 5th point for himself, and another for Kildare, and Kieran McGeeney can now begin to celebrate. He knows it's now after happening. We're just awaiting the final whistle. Chris O'Connor kicking it down. We've played the 2 minutes. Still Kildare have it. Holding on to it is Morgan O'Flaherty. What a success this is for the Lily Whites of Kildare. I'm sure it'll be like 1998 all over again. Out as far as Johnny Doyle. Goes for it, he's confident, it hits the post, locks in because it's gone over the bar, and he's got an 8th point. And it's quite a day, quite a performance. It's magnificent by Kildare, and there's been absolutely nothing that Meath have been able to do about it. The team that won the Leinster title are out of the championship, and it's Kieran McGeeney and Kildare who march on. They will play down in the second of the All-Ireland football semi-finals later in this month of August, and they had to do it without that man there, Dermot Early, injured so early on in the game. Going to Mick Foley there to congratulate him. The final score here at Rainy Croke Park is Kildare 2 goals and 17 points, Meath 1 goal and 12.
The boys showed good character. They used the ball well, like some good shot options, which they weren't doing in the first half. 2 boys inside, it caused some problems. And that's what you're looking for, everybody stepping up to the mark.
we can't have any complaints because, really in that second half they dominated it almost from start to finish. We only, I think, scored 3 points in the entire second half, which isn't good enough at this level.
Kevin McStay, for Kildare to lose Dermot early after just a couple of minutes was a huge blow, wasn't it?
It was. The one player you'd say they had to have on their side if they were going to reach the semi-final, and yet in the very first play of the game he injures himself and he's carted off, and still Kildare, well, they don't get the good start. We know this at this stage, they don't bother with those. But they move on to put in, I would say, one of their best displays in the last 10, 15 years, even the Dwyer era all that time. This was a terrific effort. Limited Meath to 3 points. You heard Eamon O'Brien mention that there. And the scores, the movement, the work rate, it was as close to a perfect display in shocking conditions, So an absolutely tremendous win for Kildare all round.
But Tony, only 6 weeks ago we saw them against Louth, and Louth scored 122 against them.
Yeah, but I suppose it's a totally different full back line now. It's a totally different attitude that Kildare have. It's a different team. This whole weekend is about the qualifiers, it's about momentum, it's about learning your best team, and it's about getting a winning habit. And out of all the teams that have gone through, Dublin and Kildare are the two teams that have learned most from the qualifiers, I feel. And today they were just magnificent. The energy and the way they played the ball into the full forward line, they were just brilliant.
Well, there's a whole broader issue there of teams coming through the qualifiers and provincial champions that we'll come to later on. But in adding to what Tony said there, Darry, you were particularly impressed with Kildare's mental strength.
Yeah, we spoke earlier about the loss of Dermot early and how they responded to that. And two players in particular, John Doyle and James Kavanagh today, I thought responded. Let's say when you concede a big score, you're always looking to see who's going to do the next thing. Now, Johnny Doyle, early in the game today, if you look at the clock, even up the top left-hand side of the screen, this is a very, very handy free. And it's demoralising. Most players would be demoralising that wither right in front of your eyes. Next play, Johnny Doyle is out of midfield. Here we have him circled, winning the next ball. He's involved in this movement right through the length of the pitch, showing his game, he's showing all the time. And he's involved right at the end of this, as we see. This is the same movement, finishes up with Emmett Bolton passing the ball to Johnny Doyle, and he wins this free, which James Kavanagh scores. 2 minutes later, he's making himself available again. Johnny Doyle never hides. Most players would take their time here and say, listen, I'm after missing a bad free, and here we have James Kavanagh missing a bad free. It really, they're ones you'd expect him to kick. In the very next phase of play, James Kavanagh is directly involved, catching a huge ball and setting up Pádraig O'Neill for a handy score. It's how they responded to all these little moments right throughout the game. It shows their resilience and it shows their mental strength. We talk about, let's say, when teams concede goals, the big midfielders catch the next ball. Every time Kildare made a mistake today, the same player would be involved within the next minute or two, making a big movement in the game. And
that actually can be coached. That is mentioned on training fields, I'm sure of it. Recovering from a miss or whatever.
Yeah, but Doyle was always the main man. Now he has James Kavanagh and Smith and Callahan and O'Neill and O'Flaherty to take the pressure off him, so he doesn't have to be the main man anymore.
It's like they wipe out the baggage of all the bad stuff they've done instantly and go at it again. It's a hard thing to do.
You mentioned before, you looked at Kildare and sometimes the shooting fantastic and sometimes it was awful. Today you were impressed with how calm they were.
Yeah, I thought they showed a lot more composure. We spoke about this last weekend, not in an overly negative way, but just say that this is what better teams do. They make the options easier for themselves to go for the high percentage areas and they work the ball in to good effect. And we're going to see some magnificent examples of this. And I can't speak highly enough of the skill level and the composure. That's young O'Flaherty coming in. You can't miss from there generally if the composure and the link play. This is incredible. To have the thought process there and the calmness. It's all about working the position. This can be tapped over the bar from here, but he spots. This is real great awareness by O'Neill, and Alan Smith just flicks it in. He's just finishing off all the hard work. Here again, work the position all the time. Make it the handy one. Get the high option and push on. And Kildare are particularly good at this when they're in their zone. And that was the point I suppose I was making last week, and that's I bring it around, complete the circle this week. I thought they were, when they put their mind to it, they were terrific at this. They obviously thought about it a wee bit and just say, look, let's get it into the good shooters and get the people that are used to putting them over. We spoke about Johnny Doyle, of course, earlier on, and he worked a lot of those positions as well.
Tony, a word about Meath. provincial champions. They didn't have the run of games. 1-3 start. It was a great start.
Yeah, it's a great start. I just thought after the start that they have no hangover of what has happened, and that they were the one team that didn't really care about a break. But really, the momentum that's built up in the qualifiers, it's very hard to replicate. You can replicate it in challenge games, you can replicate it in training. But the energy that Kildare have built up, it's very hard to play against because they defended from the goalkeeper out. Meath just didn't. Meath were wiped out completely in the second half.
For the second time in a row.
For the second time, but they only scored 3 points, and that for a Meath forward line is very poor, because if you look at those individually, they're all top players. Now, they do lack pace. That's one thing about the Meath forward line. They certainly lack pace, but they're good footballers. But I credit Kildare for that. I thought Kildare were outstanding today.
But when the long ball stopped working for them, they never changed tack, you know, and Tony, I think is right. They are slightly bit one-paced. They have a lot of very good kicking footballers, and they have total and absolute fit, and that can be a good thing most of the time. Today it was a negative.
Kieran McGeeney seems to be a big influence in Kildare.
Listen, but it was the way they played. They played measured diagonal balls into the two lads inside. Like they had Alan Smith and James Cavan inside, winning their own ball, people coming off them at pace. Listen, we're sitting here for 15, 60 years saying typical Kildare. That means they have loads of possession and they're not getting the scores. I'm delighted to take it back now.
That can be a small bit patronising, you know.
But that's what happened,
But McGeeney,
could they be coming up? Could they be coming up against better defences in? You know,
oh, there will be. I mean, every standard, every round you go by, in general, the standard rises. But can I just go back to the McGeeney thing? You know, a little piece you didn't see on camera there, where he was talking about it's better to be winning at the end of the season than at the beginning of the season. And he's already looking at, I believe, the big picture of getting his team to a final.
Yes, there's every chance they can, Kevin.
Absolutely, he was silly not to.
People said when he'd lost his lieutenant this year, he went up to Monaghan, and people said he might struggle as a coach.
No, I can't speak highly enough of him.
See, people talk in extremes. If you're beaten, you're finished. If you win, you're the greatest thing of all things. It's somewhere in the middle. But Kildare have improved steadily all along.
He's a very fine coach.
Losing his lieutenant, bringing in Aidan O'Rourke would have been one of his foot soldiers in the half-back line there as well, and one of the coolest customers on the field as well.
He's got a good team.
You know, he's got a good team.
And he's made a good team.
as well.
All right. Well, we're talking them up big here. I wonder how it'll work out. Tony, who are the nominees then for Man of the Match?
Well, we picked 3 men of the match. James Cavan was first. He was superb again today. He's one of these guys. The goal was just magnificent. Johnny Doyle got 8 points. As we spoke enough about him already, fantastic in what he's done. And we picked Seamus Kenny from Meath, just for his work rate, never say die attitude. And, you know, he got sent off.
I thought that was very, very harsh.
Couldn't believe he got sent off for that.
Darrell Flynn was just stopping a quick free, which most players do now, and, you know, I thought it was very, very harsh on Seamus Kenny to be sent off after a fantastic game. It was disappointing.
Very disappointing for him.
Right. The award then, Kevin, goes to?
Well, I'm going to speak another little bit about Johnny Doyle, and he's featured on the programme a fair bit already, but rightly so. You know, a fantastic performance. He absolutely led from the front. You heard Dara talk about his capacity to recover from bad moments, but it's the 4 points from play in particular that I think were the huge contributions. He nailed 4 frees as well, which is important in the context of what's been going on in his form lately. But like he just got ahead of everything that was required for him to do, especially with Dermot Early leaving. Johnny Doyle is the next senior man, as it were, and he togged really strong for Kildare today. Deserving man of the match.
Okay, let's hear from him then. The man from Allenwood, Johnny Doyle.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much. John, congratulations. It's been a long road, but you're in an All-Ireland semi-final.
It's been a long road, and we're delighted to be there. I suppose, you know, after the Loud game, there was a lot of people, they doubted us, and, you know, in fairness, the lads dusted themselves down, got back on the horse and went at it again. And, you know, I think great credit has to be given to every member of the panel, the backroom team. But, you know, it's still only another step on the journey we want to travel, and we're there. We're delighted to be there, and you know. Any day you go out and beat Meath in